that grill.
Welcome to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin'.
I'll tell you what, we've got the Oneida Smoke Dancers behind us, the Longhouse, and we're going to take a little trip back in time and see the historical meals from the Oneida Nation. So stay tuned for more of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling after we see a little more of the Smoke Dancers from the Oneida Nation. Beautiful, aren't they?
They're great.
Yep.
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is brought to you by Modern Home Products, the makers of MHP, Phoenix, and Profire Grill. All natural Golden Plump chicken, Minnesota and Wisconsin raised. It's golden good. Cherry Delight, a Door County original. Brew Pub Pizza, ingredients for a good time.
Healthy, locally grown Wisconsin potatoes.
And by Crisp Kraut Sauerkraut, the world's finest sauerkraut.
Hey, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. Behind us you see the wonderful 1800 log houses that the Oneida Nations reassembled here on property, and nice little houses that they are. And your ancestors grew up there, Arlie? Arlie Doctator, by the way,
Yes,
ladies and
ladies and
gentlemen. Give him a big hand.
Hey, Arlie!
And Arlie, by trade, you are a chef.
I am a chef, yes.
Yep, and you help out with as Oneida Nations, you actually help out with the youngsters.
Yes, I'm employed for one of the Head Start programs over at Three Sisters.
So you help them go and talk a little bit about your ancestors, about the foods, and kind of get them excited, but not overly excited.
Correct.
That's good, but they're excited though, aren't they? I
They're-
mean, it's interesting even off the
They're
air,
excited.
we're talking about the
Every
heritage
year
and
it's a
things.
new class of young kids.
Sure.
And so every year we kind of introduce them to some of our cultural foods. Go into the classroom, tell them about them, help work with the teachers, talk about the foods.
Well,
introduce them to our foods.
And one of the foods that was reintroduced here on the Oneida Farms is bison.
Correct.
You also have a grass-fed beef and a Black Angus.
Correct.
And they are raised in ranches on site on the reservation land.
And we use both of those at the Head Start as well.
You do, and you can find them if you're here locally. You can actually go to 501 Packerland Avenue in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it's the Oneida Market. And you can find wonderful bison tenderloin. Now let's talk a little bit about bison. Bison is one of the 5 foods that women should eat because it's high in iron.
High in iron, low fat.
Low saturated fat, low
Yep.
fat just in general. A little 4-ounce piece has 30 grams of protein. It's only got about 3 grams of fat, low in cholesterol, high in vitamin B12, B6, essential fatty acids, phenomenal.
And tastes good.
And tastes
Tastes
good.
That's good. I kind of like me even likes it, for God's
So
sake.
I'm gonna start out, and I'm gonna actually take a little bit, I'm gonna grab a little bit of oil. We do preach oiling with a heart healthy oil, a little bit of olive oil, about 80–85% of all the meat products, so it kind of browns up nice. Cuts of meat are so lean nowadays, you need a little bit of oil to seal it all in. Now I thought we'd add a little bit of jarred garlic, and I love doing jarred garlic.
I do too.
So we're gonna add a lot of jarred garlic. We want some great flavor inside of that nice little bison loin. And if you can help me out, I went to the Oneida Market, and we're gonna do a tea-rub.
Okay.
You're right, you're right. Let's do that. Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, come on,
I
it's
grew some-
television. We can
okay.
do whatever we want
yeah,
to,
make
by
some
golly.
slits. I grew some fresh sage. I have a little herb garden. I grew some fresh sage, and I thought how neat it would be to roll the leaves up instead of placing garlic and basil and rosemary as a lot of folks do. I thought the native tradition might be some wonderful sage. So if you can refine those
Arlie,
slits
you
again,
do that
Arlie,
so
you're doing pretty
well.
good.
I like how you, boy, you're a professional, man.
Every now and then I
love
get it
that.
right.
I like that.
Every now and then I'll get it right.
I do love the flavor of that, the garlic in on the sage. I do like
Yes.
using jarred
Yes.
garlic. I get it really cool, but I do like the jarred garlic.
Now the bison itself, once we get this on the grill, we're gonna sear the dickens out of it to get the nice flavor and seal it in real nice. But then as Arlie suggested, and we know, you'd like to move meat products over to the side and let them slow cook from there. So it's a catalyst to get them going, and then we're gonna slow cook them from there on.
Towel.
Yes, sir, right?
No?
Cal, here, use my,
I'll use this. I got one.
do you? Boy, you're a good man.
But
Wanna
now you gotta help
handkerchief?
me out, and
I will.
you do the sprinklet, I'll do the...
Okay.
Now we're gonna do a tea rub. Coffee rubs are very popular. We're gonna do a nice little tea rub. I went to the Oneida Market, and I found some chai tea. And you're gonna take the big chunks off first.
I can.
Are we gonna use that right now? Sure. Sprinkle it right on. We're gonna do chai tea, and chai tea is cinnamon, cardamom. You read it, Darlie. You got better eyes than I do.
Yes, we have black organic tea, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, and organic black pepper and cloves.
And I'm gonna add a little sodium.
Very little sodium.
No sodium.
No sodium.
We won't add the sodium to
You
that.
can sodium at the end. You can salt at the end.
I would place in the refrigerator for a couple hours to absorb the flavor. Merrill's going to lift the hood up over here, And I'm just going to toss that on the grates of the grill. We're going to sear that up, then move it over. Right over
smell
here,
right.
I'm going to show you these. These are bison meatballs. The bison meatballs
yes.
Meryl's going to recreate right now. And we have some guests here, some traveling writers. And we're going to serve those up to them. And they got a nice little, just a barely little pink in them right now. But I did the same thing with the meatballs. I seared them up over here. Arlie helped me.
Sure.
Seared them up. We rolled them over once. Then I moved them over where there was no heat. And moved them over where there was no heat and put the hood down and slow cooked them so you can kind of know what you're doing. Bison,
All right, bison meatballs, it's very simple. You know, a lot of people don't realize that you can do meatballs on the grill, and it's so easy to do. A nice medium heat. And what I've got here, I've got the ground bison, which is approximately about a pound of here that I've got. And I've got, I love the corn mush here. I love the corn.
Instead of cracker crumbs, of the white corn, and we'll get into that in the next, in segment 3 and a little bit later on in the show, white corn.
And
Or
some
do some
wild
corn
rice. And then you know what I like? Because when I've been working with Mad Dog, all this time I get my frustrations out. And when you get to go ahead and mix this all together, you just sit back and you just relax.
The wild
and now
rice
I'm
is
just
hand
relaxed.
thrashed. Our good friends in Minnesota, the wild rice comes from you good folks, by the way.
I'm going to form these into the balls, and then I'm going to go ahead and place them on the grill and cook these about 15 to 20 minutes. The bison is very lean. It's not going to take that long to cook whatsoever.
Absolutely. So now we're going to do a little bit of the Three Sisters, and that's what we're going to serve with the bison tenderloin.
Correct.
Three Sisters are
Corn, beans, and squash.
corn, beans, and squash. And they took a nice mound to hold the heat into it, and they planted the corn, which grows tall. They planted pole beans, which wraps around the corn and gives them support. And then the squash spreads itself out to keep moisture in the ground. And also, I don't know if you ever touched...
The beans add nitrogen back into the ground.
But then the squash grows out, and it keeps, from the leaves, keeps moisture in there. And it also keeps some of the animals out because of the prickliness of the branches and stuff. So on the grill behind us, Arlie, and I'll let you move to the side, I have a skillet in here that I've already started some cubed up squash, and I've got that nice and going because that was raw. So I'm going to add a little bit more oil inside of there, and that's the squash inside of there. And I'm going to add the rest of the Three Sisters, which is beans and the white corn. So I'll add some wonderful white corn that's already been hydrated. And I'll add some of the red beans to that and kind of stir those up a little bit. I'm going to turn the heat off. And as the loin cooks, the flavors blend together here. But now we need a dessert.
A dessert.
A dessert.
Oh, yes, all right.
Oneida Nations has a wonderful cannery.
We do. We have a great cannery, and they'll do dehydrating at the cannery. All the corn products are cooked, dehydrated. I'm getting buzzed here. They get ground up into the flour. They get dried into the corn mush and dehydrated. They also have the fresh hulled.
Fresh hulled corn, and then they also do wonderful apple pie fillings, pickles,
salsa,
jams, all kinds of great stuff. So what I like to do is I like to take from the orchard some McIntosh, and I'll cut them into cubes. I'll cut them into quarters. And last night I put a little bit of lime juice and a whole bunch of brown sugar, and I let those set. So just prior to our loins being done, that's when I'm going to put the apples around that, and it should come out nice. But let's plate up for our guests here. Let's plate up some nice, if you want to grab that cutting board there, Arlie. And I'm going to grab the meatballs here, and we'll finish these off with a little bit of the salsa, a little bit of the wonderful salsa from the cannery.
Looking good.
It is looking good, isn't it? Now the meatballs should have just a little bit of redness to them. This is a little bit of a nice a little hotter salsa, but it's going to be good. So I'm just going to do a little bit to give a little bit of flavor over the top. And we're going to serve these up. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Michelle Danforth, and we're going to talk a little bit about the projects that go on here for Oneida right here on the ground. So we'll be right back with more Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grilling. Thank you, Arlie, for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
MHP, Phoenix, and Profire grills used on today's show are available at these fine retailers. Go to modernhomeproducts.com to find a dealer near you. Mad Dog and Meryl's Midwest Grillin' is brought to you in part by Brewpub Pizza and by Golden Plump Chicken.
Screwdriver, wrench, pizza,
That's right, Brew Pub Pizza. On every Brew Pub pizza, there's over a half a pound of premium Wisconsin mozzarella. Tavern-style pizza that's all about the toppings.
Large nuggets of zesty sausage, roasted vegetables, and sliced pepperoni. Make Brew Pub Pizza your choice for lunch, dinner, or my favorite, a great late night snack.
Great in the oven or on the grill. Taste tested and approved by Mad Dog and Merrill.
You should open a tandem bike shop.
What's this hot mess?
Chillin' and grillin' chicken?
Listen, bruh. See this? Untrimmed fat. And the size? It's been sodium injected. This chicken's been on the juice.
Look, we're here to help.
Say hello to Golden Plum.
Hello, chicken.
Later, bad chicken.
Carmella's for delicious, authentic Italian bistro meals in your own home with a twist of a jar. Carmella's, all natural, fresh ingredients with no preservatives or added sugars. Carmella's House Marinara, tomato cream, arrabbiata, and bolognese sauces from Grandma Carmella's kitchen to yours. So making authentic Italian meals for your family has never been easier. Carmella's, made with love and shared from the heart of our family to yours. Also try Carmella's Bacon Jam and all new Spice Blend.
Hey folks, Mad Dog and Merrill here. You know, when we're not on TV, we always use S. Rosen Buns and Rolls for our family and friends when we grill out.
That's because S. Rosen buns and rolls hold up the sandwiches better.
S. Rosen hot dog buns and Broughton sausage rolls won't fall apart.
No matter how much you load them up.
Hamburger, steak burger, Kaiser rolls. Stand up to any burger.
Plus, they taste like fresh bread right out of the oven.
S. Rosen's, breads, buns, and rolls, because great sandwiches start with great bread.
Fire up that grill.
Hey folks, Mad Dog and Merrill here, the Sultans of Sear.
The gurus of the grill.
The hosts of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
Spice up your next cookout with Mad Dog and Merrill's thick, rich barbecue sauces, seasonings, and marinades.
Don't forget Dow Works, sauerkraut, onion, ketchup, and a hint of mustard all in one bottle.
Dow Works for sausage, burgers, chicken, hot dogs, and more.
Dow Works.
Ask your grocer for Mad Dog and Merrill products.
Available at a store near you. Happy grilling, folks.
For Mad Dog and Merrill recipe books, accessories, sauces, spices, marinades, and so much more, visit maddogandmerrill.com and go to the online store.
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. I'll tell you what, in our next segment, we're going to learn about the historical white corn of the United Nations. And but right now we're with Michelle Danforth, and she is the tourism director for Oneida. And welcome, dear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Glad
for
to be here.
hosting us today.
Yes,
Oh gosh, it's our pleasure.
Well, thanks for having us. Is that a little heavy there, Mad Dog?
It's getting a little bit heavy,
Is it?
and I'm going to set this down. I think I'm going to set this down. And we're talking about a couple hundred years ago in the state of New York.
Yes, we are actually originally from New York State, and it wasn't until 1823 when we actually moved to, well, this used to be the Michigan Territory, but
Yep.
became Wisconsin.
All right.
And that's when we moved here, and we transitioned into more agricultural and farming.
Well then, Michelle, let's talk about the larger 35-foot cedar posts.
Yes, well actually we're going to cut 7 feet off the top of those posts, but that actual structure is going to represent a life-size longhouse. So the one in the front is like a small replica.
Right.
The one in the back is going to be about 20 feet high by 25 feet wide by 65 feet long.
Representing several families?
Yes, we'll have about every 20 feet there's a smoke hole, and that
Okay.
kind of represents a family, and then as the families would have grown
Right.
in size, then they would add on, and they would add on, and add on.
And in the project itself, there's an amphitheater. You have a little bit of a project going. They can go online at exploreoneida.com.
Yep, so our entire kind of village project, we haven't quite named yet, but
Sure.
our entire village, we are working on an experience so when someone comes to tour, they'll be able to go through a longhouse and actually see all the different elements of how our life kind of changed over time. They'll be able to go down to the amphitheater, see some dancing,
Right.
see some storytelling, and then they'll eventually transition over to our log home restoration project, which represents our life in Wisconsin in the 1800s when we came here and we ultimately became very successful farmers.
And as a farmer and agricultural, you have a gorgeous apple orchards.
Yes, we do actually. Right down the road from this site, we have the Oneida Apple Orchard. They have about 35 different types of
beautiful
apples. It is a great place to bring your family in the fall when it's apple picking time. And then we also have an event called Big Apple Fest. It's always the third Saturday in September.
Yep.
And we have lots of horses. The main attraction are horses. We love horses, and kids go up to the orchard and they hop on the horse and wagon rides, and it's really a very fun time for family.
You can pick your own apples.
Yeah, and there's no charge to get in at all.
No, it's a great time.
Oh,
great
great
event.
time for the kids and everything.
Yep.
It really
so
is.
explore Oneida.com, and we're going to learn how. Michelle, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to learn how to take white corn, make it into some more beautiful white corn traditional soup. So we'll be right back with more of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' in a second or two.
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is brought to you in part by Glorious Malone's Fine Sausage and by Cherry Delight.
Glorious Malone's gourmet head cheese and country pâtés are southern deliciousness. Tender pork, blended spices, and bold flavors. Superbly handcrafted fresh, without fillers, jellies, or preservatives. Glorious Malone's quality flavors have been loved throughout the Midwest for over 60 years. Enjoy it sliced on crackers, or think outside the cracker. Try it on pizza, burgers, stuffed pork, and more. Ask your grocer for Malone's. Southern deliciousness.
Since the first planting of cherry trees in 1896, tart cherries have attracted visitors to Door County. The long-awaited harvest of this year's crop is upon us, and we anticipate a fresh abundance of this wonderful fruit. Country Ovens captures the full flavor of tart cherries in our Door County original, Cherry Delights. Sample our delicious tart cherry products, including our chocolate-covered Cherry Delights and all-natural tart cherry juice on your next trip to Door County. Only 30 minutes from Green Bay.
Crisp Kraut.
Tasty family tradition for over 100 years.
Made with good old-fashioned Wisconsin cabbage. Tastes great on hot dogs, brats, pizzas, and even brownies. Crisp Kraut, served hot or cold.
Traditional style is tart and tangy, and the Bavarian style is sweet and mild.
Make this superfood part of your regular meal planning.
Delicious, versatile, and so good for you. Look for Crisp Kraut in your store's meat case.
And if it's not Crisp Kraut, it's not crisp. Try Crisp Kraut for the health of it. Now, Merrill, you sink this putt, you win the tournament, and the coveted cooler of ice-cold Sundrop soda.
Towel. Sundrop. Pull the pin.
Locally bottled, crisp, old-fashioned flavor, Sundrop. Make your summer fantasy come true.
What's your summer Sundrop fantasy? Hey, Mad Dog.
Hey, Merrill.
Looks like you're grilling up some sliders.
Absolutely.
Hey, we should be using some Merck's cheese.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Grilling some burgers?
Yes, sir.
Let's make a Merck's burger.
That sounds great. Hey, Merrill, look at this.
Whoa, we're going to need some more Merck's.
Merck's cheese spread, made in Wisconsin with 100% real Wisconsin cheddar. Great for grilling.
You think this'll do?
Following World War II, Cameron Peckham and Al Pulvermacher formed Al Cam Creamery in Richland Center, Wisconsin. It's been nearly 70 years and many things have changed, but their passion for quality, taste, and excellence has not.
We do one thing at Al Cam. We make butter, and we do that very, very well.
Whether it's in quarters, solids, whipped, or hand-rolled. Butter is an Al Cam tradition in which you can taste the difference.
For Mad Dog and Merrill recipe books, accessories, sauces, spices, marinades, and so much more, visit maddogandmerrill.com and go to the online store.
Well, welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling. One more little scoop, Brian. Thank you so
Delicious.
much. The white corn soup?
Olana is our language. Olana.
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 Let's go over and see how you do that white corn soup.
Okay.
Olana.
Just hold on now. Hold on. I got to make sure it meets my approval. Everybody wait.
It meets mine.
Boy, that white corn is delish.
Great. Unbelievable. It really is. Now, how long did it take you to make this?
Don't talk with your mouth full. Remember what
No.
Mom
Correct.
said.
It's about a day and a half process.
Really? Now, what do you start out with first?
Well, we have wood ash, like from the tree, regular
Really?
wood. We use hardwood.
Okay.
We have our white corn is called onust.
Onust.
It means something precious. In English,
I must be on us.
You must be on us.
Thank you, thank you. Thank
We have our white corn.
Okay.
We boil it with water, and we put the wood ash in there to take the outside hull off the white corn.
And that floats?
Yes. And then you wash it.
Yeah.
And you continually washing it, obviously, to get the ash. You know, the ash mixes in with the corn.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
Now, is that that's a traditional way of doing it? Does everybody use the ash?
No, some use baking soda. Baking soda
Okay.
does the same thing. Ash takes about 7 or 8 minutes.
All right.
Baking soda is more hours.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a
Very
slow.
And the
slow
ash
process.
does the ash add a flavor?
The ash does. It depends on what type of wood you use. My family always used maple.
Okay.
Maple trees. Hardwood is the best because your ash is a little bit more stronger. When ash meets with water, it makes a lye. So then
I never knew that.
the lye takes the hull off. So that's the first step in the
All right.
process. You wash it and you wash it.
Day one.
Day one.
Early in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you start out early.
Yep.
Then we have, as you've heard about our three sisters, beans, corn, and squash. So we have our red beans, kidney beans. The darker the better. And you cook that with salt pork here.
Okay.
And the salt pork and pork hock. You cook your beans, you kind of get them a little tender, if you will, not fully
Right.
cooked. And then for oneidas now, historically they used turkey.
Okay.
The Dutch introduced pork or pig and
Yep.
somewhere between the 1500s, or early 1600s, late 1500s. So now we have pig. So most people in that I'm familiar with use pork.
All right.
And what I use is
I think that's what I've always had.
country style ribs and pork chop suey with salt pork.
Salt pork.
And then the pork hock. And you put it all together, and it does take a long time to cook.
So these aren't seared. These are nothing. It goes right in the soup as stock.
Correct.
And how long are these simmering in the soup then?
Well,
Day two.
It's about 6.5 to 7, 8 hours. Sometimes it depends on the size of your soup, obviously.
All right, and that's just simmering, correct?
That is correct. It's
All right.
it's a slow to medium boil. Because you definitely have to have a boil.
Delicious.
Brian Doctator, by the way, if we didn't introduce, and thank you for being with us.
Sure.
And you are related to Arlie?
Yes, we are cousins.
Cousins to Arlie, who was just on with us. And don't forget to go on exploreoneida.com, exploreoneida.com. And I should have introduced, I said we had a great time with Michelle down at the Longhouse just prior to this too. Now the soups themselves, and I just want to talk about a little bit about the white corn too, because the white corn was a staple in the winter times. When these houses were in use back in the 1800s, and when winter came in the Midwest here, there weren't diddly for stuff to eat out there.
Oh,
So everything had to be harvested and preserved. And so they took the white corn and they dried it, and they took the white corn, rehydrated it like you can get at the market already, which is an easy way to do it.
Sure.
If you're no, I can't say it on the air. I was going to say if you're a Metoxin, that's the way you buy yours, but that's not true. That's not true.
Well, it could be.
Boy, you opened up a can of worms on that one, man.
Then there's also the white flour,
can of
the white
corn,
flour, and the white mush, and you can utilize all three or all four of these actually from the market on Packerland in Packerland in Green Bay, 501 Packerland.
And there's no other what other are you using any other seasonings?
Exactly.
In this? That's what I was going to ask. 'Cause the flavor is just unbelievable in this. It really is.
Well, I use salt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I use salt in, actually. Sea salt. I don't cook with salt, but for corn soup I do. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Sea salt really makes a big difference,
Yes.
too. I found that out. Yes. I really like using sea salt quite a bit, but the flavor is just unbelievable, especially in the broth.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of three sisters, and the apples that we did a little bit earlier with Arlie, thank you there, sir. The bison tenderloin has that nice little chai tea on top of there as a rub. It has the three sisters, has the apples over here. And I don't think people have to understand the flavor of white corn, but it's delicious. But there's our little meal with our little soup beforehand. Brian, we appreciate the time you're spending with us. Thank you so much. Keep the tradition, pass it on. Keep the tradition, pass it on. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
We'll be right back to wrap this baby up in just a moment.
View past episodes of our show by going to MadDogAndMerrill.com and click on Midwest Grillin'.
Hey, Mad Dog.
Hey, Merrill.
Well, looks like you're grilling up some sliders.
Absolutely.
Hey, we should be using some Merck's cheese.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Grilling some burgers?
Yes, sir.
Let's make them Merck's burgers.
That sounds great. Hey, Merrill, look at this.
Whoa, we're gonna need some more Mercs.
Merck's cheese spread, made in Wisconsin with 100% real Wisconsin cheddar. Great for grilling.
You think this'll do?
We dig Wisconsin potatoes.
Healthy grown, eco-friendly Wisconsin potatoes.
Potatoes that are appealing.
One medium potato harvests 110 calories.
They're high in potassium and sodium-free, which is good for your heart.
They're also free of fat, gluten, and cholesterol.
And full of vitamins and minerals.
From farm to fork, Wisconsin potatoes provide the most nutrients per penny.
Which makes Wisconsin potato growers outstanding in the field.
Screwdriver, wrench, pizza.
That's right, Brewpub Pizza. On every Brewpub Pizza, there's over a ½ pound of premium Wisconsin mozzarella. Tavern-style pizza that's all about the toppings.
Large nuggets of zesty sausage, roasted vegetables, and sliced pepperoni. Make Brewpub Pizza your choice for lunch, dinner, or my favorite, a great late-night snack.
Great in the oven or on the grill. Taste tested and approved by Mad Dog and Merrill.
Glorious Malone's gourmet head cheese and country pâtés are southern deliciousness. Tender pork, blended spices, and bold flavors. Superbly handcrafted fresh, without fillers, jellies, or preservatives. Glorious Malone's quality flavors have been loved throughout the Midwest for over 60 years. Enjoy it sliced on crackers, or think outside the cracker. Try it on pizza, burgers, stuffed pork, and more. Ask your grocer for Malone's. Southern deliciousness.
Fire up that grill. Hey folks, Mad Dog and Merrill here, the Sultans of Sear.
The gurus of the grill.
The hosts of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
Spice up your next cookout with Mad Dog and Merrill's thick, rich barbecue sauces, seasonings, and marinades.
Don't forget Dow Works, sauerkraut, onion, ketchup, and a hint of mustard all in one bottle.
Dow Works for sausage, burgers, chicken, hot dogs, and more.
Dow Works.
Ask your grocer for Mad Dog and Merrill products.
Available at a store near you. Happy grilling, folks. Well, I'll tell you what, as we close out today at Oneida Nations, Brad, what song are you going to close us out with?
I think it's appropriate we start off with our end off with our smoke dance, because it's one of our more faster paced dances, and it's good for the dancers to show off their footwork, their fancy footwork.
Should we get going?
Let's get going.
Let's get her going. Let's wrap this thing up. Get her going, Brad.
Mad Dog and Merrill Grillin' Club. Every member receives the official Grillin' Club t-shirt and towel. Discover new recipes, chat with fellow grillers, watch valuable videos, learn new jokes, or submit a unique recipe for a chance to see it on our show. Log in now for your chance to share in the Grillin' Club. Happy grillin'!
Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is a production of Lashbro Visual Communications.